Hey everyone, it's Kyle from the show. I'm just here at the start to remind you that we have content warnings at the bottom of the description of every episode. We have a fair few this episode. Nothing gets too dark, we just get kind of weird at certain points, and I think we could hit some things that would be upsetting. And I want to make sure you're armed with all the knowledge that you would need for that. So please check those content warnings below and be sure to skip over anything that you think just wouldn't sit well with you. All right, that's all I've got. Thanks so much. Let's start the show. Previously on Quest Friends.
But yeah, Shock's gonna hold up the arm where the spider is presumably like lumping around. Get it out, get it out, get it out! We have to get it out!
You seem to be standing in a courtyard made out of ceramic, castle-like stone, and you realize that you're hundreds of feet in the air. You see one of these automatons with prismatic markings all over their body, rushing towards the edge of the courtyard. The language they're using doesn't seem familiar to you, but because of your experience with machine language, you can make out 6 words. Was found, not safe, must use.
Did Aegon ever keep a journal or notes or anything?
No, his only notes were in his brain, and well, the only 2 people with access to that would be the Apocrypha itself and I guess the professor.
Where is the professor?
I am the professor. The professor is dead.
Humans would term a zombie, as you are both dead, but also the professor.
Well, from what I've heard about them, that might not feel far off. God, this had to be decades ago. I was out delving into dungeons. You know, normally I'd be in here. You know, as they say, for every hour you spend dungeon delving, you spend 10 in the lab. But I was out on a site and I had an encounter with some Stratic life. And normally the bond is made, and that's it. And you might never see each other again. But that's not what happened. We kind of, I can't think of a better term for it. We kind of fused. Suddenly we weren't 2 of us. We were one entity, and we I was, she was, we were the professor, and that's kind of how it was, and that's not really how it is anymore.
What changed?
We just separated. The professor split up. Not sure why. It just kind of happened, and we weren't sure what to do. We tried kind of fusing together again, but a bond with a patron isn't something that's easily broken. What if it was me? I mean, I was the professor, so it must have been me, right? So, we're not together right now. I don't remember a whole lot from that time. All my memories aren't there, and I'm really sorry about that. I'm kind of catching my legs again for the first time.
How long ago did this happen?
Honestly, it kind of feels like my whole life at this point. Anyways, enough of this. I'm really sorry. Enough of this doom and gloom. Let's talk about this world-ending cloud of spiders, huh? All right, so you walk over to a corner and Myra says, all right, so this is all the information that I have on the kingdom of Prilema. And you, Shock, see some pretty familiar stuff. So you see a painting of ceramic spiraling castles and spherical courtyards with greenery roping around the tiles. Additionally, you see rotund automatons with stone exoskeletons and vine innards. And if you remember when you first got kind of your first vision after being consumed by the Apocrypha, this was the first thing you saw, was a skyline not identical but pretty close to this. And Myra says, the Prilemians were the first species we knew that encountered the Apocrypha. They flew on structures similar to this. This seemed to be kind of their home base. Were you going to ask something, Shock?
I hit my heel against my chair, and so I started to go ow under my breath.
And she just whips out what looks like a pistol. It's flaming, it's shooting out little bursts of wind, and it's also got a massive chisel. This is called a sedimentary gun. Sedimentary tattoo. A sediment tattoo gun. It was used to mark one's occupation or role. And Myra points to an automaton in the painting with spiral markings on its chest, as well as a mold of those same markings on a side table. We're not quite sure what this spiral marking means. In fact, there's not a whole lot that we know about the species at all, but that is indicative of something. And Shock, you know what it's indicative of.
I do?
The spiral marking means messenger. And you know, because above this rock, you see pages woven out of glittering powder. And to most people, they wouldn't mean anything. Even with your understanding of the machine language, you could barely understand how they spoke, much less how they wrote things. But the text on these glittering powder pages are as clear as whatever other languages you speak. I don't know what they're called. Ninth Worldian. Steadfastian.
The truth. That's the name of the main language in this region.
It's as clear as the truth. It reads, "Once again, our kingdom was found. Our strategy of retreating is simply not safe. In order to defeat the invading spiders, we must use..." And then it cuts off. Because again, they're kind of... Myra can't understand them, so she's just kind of put the pages scattered by each other.
Okay, and so to clarify, because that was the one thing I was a little confused by, the pages are artifacts that Myra has, not something from my vision.
No, they're artifacts. They're physically there, and you are physically reading them right now.
Okay. Shock is going to speak up and say, I can read this, all of it. I don't know how I can. I assume it's another consequence of the time the Apocrypha got inside my head. But that symbol, and I'll point to the spiral, means messenger. And these pages are describing a strategy to protect their kingdom from...
Wait, sorry, excuse me. I have a lot of questions. You said you could understand them?
Yes, I can read all of this.
And you said the Apocrypha was inside of you.
Surprise!
One of the spiders got inside me right after they were let out. We killed it, but I was infected and I almost died. Eventually, we got to Mr. Mako and he gave me some kind of antidote that brought me back. But when I was infected, I saw and heard things, and I eventually had someone else's mind inside my body as well.
Someone else's? I'm sorry. I'm kind of alternating back and forth. I'm horrified, and I'm really sorry. Do you need more water or something like that? But also academically, this is really interesting. This could change everything. I mean, it's just, it's just one example. It's not a long-term statistical study, but it's still very okay. So there was someone inside your head?
Yes. He claimed that he didn't know how or why he was there. Just woke up inside my body. We began to speculate that he might have been someone who was consumed by the Apocrypha back when the first time it was rampaging around, and you all had stopped it.
Wait, he was someone from the Apocrypha. Where did he say he was from?
This is when I try to remember what our name is for that. The
Pythagorean Empire?
Is that what we call it?
No.
No!
The Pythagorean Empire, is that what we call it?
Corinthian.
No!
Corinthian, there we go.
You should have let him keep guessing.
I was going to.
He said he was from the Corinthian Empire.
Well, that's especially confusing if you were talking to someone from that, because the Apocrypha never attacked the Corinthian Empire. Well, I mean, from my memory, again, I'm so sorry, I can't remember everything. I'll need to consult my records.
Well, just as likely he was lying to us too.
Oh dears, are you all right? I only have water, but I could go get more water. I'll go collect more data. It's going to take a little bit of time, but I'd love to show you some things around. All of you feel free to relax on the prodigious. I'm so sorry that you had to come all the way here for me. But feel free to relax. Just enjoy your time. I'll come catch you when I have more data.
Okay. And I guess we awkwardly leave.
I'm sorry that you're not with the woman that you were with.
Actually, hold the phone. Shock starts to leave, then turns around.
Shock love counselor.
Shock, PhD in doctorate of love.
Yeah, Shock, who hasn't gotten a single heart with his love interest.
Doctorate.
PhD in doctorate. Yeah.
In doctorate of... Anyway, Shock starts to leave, but then turns around and just says, Did you ever try talking to your other half?
Yeah, I had to explain what I apparently thought.
Okay.
You did not earn that doctorate of love.
Did you ever talk to her? Oh, you did? Okay, cool. Okay, cool.
Failed your dissertation.
This felt like a dramatic line to leave on. And also, I wasn't entirely sure that Myra had ever actually tried to get in touch with.
Why wouldn't she?
They tried to refuse. I said that like 3 times.
Myra has been very cagey on what actually happened, though. I know they unfused, but I don't know the details.
Yeah, they unfused. Just in case it wasn't clear, because I rambled a lot, and Myra apologizes and rambles a lot. Essentially, something felt wrong in the professor, and Myra was just like, academically, all the evidence points to I didn't want this. And so then she's just like, hey, it looks like I didn't want this. That's what the studies say.
Science doesn't support us.
The evidence, I looked at it right here. It's not good. Not good, mate.
We've got a null hypothesis. It's no good.
Afternoon, day 2. Oh god, that really peaked the audio. Let me try that again. Afternoon, day 2. That still peaked real bad. I guess I'm gonna just have to do this after the fact.
Just do it a little more quietly.
Afternoon, day 2.
That's fine.
We're back to the fez.
I didn't like that.
You made this choice by picking this voice.
Don't do that.
All right, so we are in our afternoon session. Reminder that afternoon session, what you all are going to do, you're going to have an opportunity to have a scene in which you can either look for Ezra, look for Argent, try to solve the mystery a little bit more. You can hit up some cuties if you want, get some heart points, or you can clearly solve these very unsolved relationship issues. Afternoon is anytime from now to our end of day event. At the end of each day, we're going to have an event that everyone goes to. So after our afternoon session tonight, you'll have Nano Fight Club, which Adrian invited Misha to, so you'll all go to the Nano Fight Club. Tomorrow night, you'll have the pep rally for prom, and then on night 4, you'll have prom itself.
Prom de plume.
Anyways, you're sitting here having lunch. We have not specified what the lunch food is, so if at any point you want to specify what you're eating, remember, that's all they serve for lunch your whole time on the Prodigious.
Calzoons.
Calzoons?
Nothing but calzoons. You won't let that happen.
I'll compromise with you. They don't have calzoons, but they do have pie pods.
That's not a compromise. That's just a slap to the face. Fuck you.
What is it? What if it's just patza?
Patza?
I would eat patza.
What I love is that we already have pizza on the Ritz, so we already have a pizza. But this is just pasta pizza. It's pasta pizza in a patty.
In a patty?
In a patty.
In a patty. Does it mean it's made of patties of people named Patty? Because that's a different.
Why?
Up in the air.
Up in the air.
What if they serve Soylent beans?
Oh no.
All right.
Soylent beans, which is made out of preple, which isn't a living organism, but it's very bad synthetic. It's synthetic people. God, this is getting disgusting.
Oh god.
So dark.
Why have you made the food so weird? All I did was come up with a funny name. Like,
I don't like the turn this took.
Is fucking Sir Kentrum gonna walk through and be like, hey bro, why are you such a soy boy eating those Soylent beans?
It's a man-eat-man world.
Real men eat chicken wings all hours of the day. Man.
That absolutely happens. And I'm assuming, Shock, you just set down your Soylent beans and just push it to the side? Or are you not gonna get caught up in this alt-right bullshit?
Actually, I was just gonna give him the gift that I got for him.
So he insults you and you're like, here's a gift!
You're giving
Yeah, that's video game logic.
You haven't given me any gifts and you're giving Sir Kentrum a gift first?
She's got a point. She's got a point.
Who are you going to prom to? Wait, I'm sorry. I guess I'll just give my gift to Adrian and then invite him to prom.
No, we don't need this drama. Hold on. We haven't had like a moment where there was good pacing for gift giving.
Anyways, what are you giving Sir Kentrum?
I'm gonna give Sir Kentrum a keg stand.
Perfect. You're up to 3 heart. Well, how many heart points did you have with him earlier?
Didn't I earn like a single heart earlier in the class?
Yeah, by not going along with the Anines, you got a heart.
Right. So you're up to 3 now.
Yeah.
He's like, thanks, man. I can do this keg stand and have raw meat milk all the time.
I'm sorry?
Raw
Is that
meat
just
milk.
blood?
Nah, man.
Sorry, I guess I love him again, even though he's a garbage boy.
Meat milk is when you flex so hard, it starts to lactate.
Oh shit! No.
Oh, now
That's disgusting.
I hate everything that you have done the past several minutes.
Kyle, is that?
This keeps getting worse.
Did you fucking plan that? Have you read Homestuck? Do you know?
No, what?
Did you intentionally take that from Homestuck, flexing so hard that you lactate?
Is that a Homestuck thing?
What the fuck?
Have you not? There's a
What?
troll boy named Equius who is a muscle horse boy, and he's weird about muscles. And I'm just gonna have to show you some fucked up shit later.
So disgusting. Why
What the fuck?
do people have thought about the same disgusting thing?
This episode is gonna have so many content warnings. Like, we have the serious ones, which have a few. This episode is gonna have so many. Anyways, do we want to end on some romance?
Yeah.
Sure.
So you have your food, your soylent beans, your patsa, and your third thing. Ellie, I'm assuming you check up on your NP children a little bit?
Yeah.
And you see that Zoe is sitting there and she's talking with Megan. And you notice something really weird about her hair. It's very curly in a very particular way that you've only ever seen.
I'm sorry?
You've only ever seen Ray.
I'm sorry.
You've only ever seen Ray wear her hair like that.
Oh, I'm gonna go over to say hi to my child.
Hi, Mom. We were just talking about the latest young adult novel.
The latest young adult novel. Oh, I saw you're doing something new with your hair again, too?
Oh yeah, no. So I had my first class today. I got placed in puzzles classes. And our professor, she's the nicest. She's just so like I don't know, she's like a princess.
Oh, she seems great.
Yeah, no, she's really nice. Actually, I kind of talked about airships for a little bit. It was a bit of a tangent, I know. But she actually told me that she knows the person who works on the engines. So she told me I would be able to go down and take a look at them later.
Really?
My heart.
That'll be awesome, Zoe. You'll have to let me know how it goes.
Okay, I'll be sure to tell you. And before you continue, Megan immediately pipes in and says, Zoe, we have to talk about what happens in the next chapter of the book. I can't believe Devin would have ever said that to Mandy. I don't know if she should take him back after those kinds of things. And in the middle of a war, no less. It's just a little bit of mixed priorities, if you ask me. And you can see that she's got a book open, and they're both looking at their little new novel called Don't Cry Witch.
I fucking love these shout-outs.
And so he says, oh yeah, no, I really think that he deserves it. And she just turns back and immediately starts engaging.
Ellie smiles. She's glad to see that Zoe's found a friend and is happy. And it's like tough because we don't know what Megan's deal is, but actually, Ellie's actually gonna swing back around and lean down so she's like her head's between them.
Yeah.
Don't let anyone see the books.
And so he's like, but what? Oh, right. Right. They can't know about our secret key. Oh. And Megan goes, okay. And she tries to wink like you did earlier, but Megan still can't wink. So she blinks both of her eyes, which is equivalent of the number of heart points you have with her. Because you have another one, because you looked out for her. So you got 2 heart points now. Note that, because I'm going to forget.
Okay, cool.
You might have had 2 already. If you had 2, you had 3. I'll note when I'm editing.
Yeah. However, I had a note in my phone. We said that I could argue that I have more heart points with Megan.
Okay, so, looking at the time, Emily's romance thing is going to wait till next time. We're going to end with some hardcore negotiation. Hit that negotiation music.
So he talks about her mom all the time, so I think that Megan should get a not necessarily 100% accurate, but definitely positive view of Ellie.
Fuck, alright, I guess that wasn't that dramatic of an end. Alright, you have
No.
another point. You have 2 more points with Megan.
That's not a very good ending.
No, it's really not a very good ending. So what were you going to do for the day?
I kind of want to talk to Ray, but I kind of don't. I'm kind of too scared to talk to Ray. I'm gonna go find Ray.
You don't have to. You go up and you start walking to leave the lunchroom and go find Ray and talk to her. But as you stand up and turn around, you see her looking at you with her lunch tray. And she just says, "Can we talk?" Hello and welcome to the announcement break for Quest Friends episode I always forget to check. Quest Friends episode 43, Crime and Courtship Part 8. I am Kyle, your GM, and our intro and outro song is Friends and Hitoshio, both by Miracle of Sound, and we have a lot to talk about today. First, later on in this episode, I pull from the name pool to name 2 unseen characters. These characters are Devin and Mandy, named for Comma Crazy and Mighty Meller on Twitter, respectively. You might recognize Mandy from such works as Our Icon and Don't Cry Witch Volume 1, the graphic novel that she is at the very end of kickstarting right now. So if you're interested in that kind of artwork, if you're interested in cool stories about witches and the like, witches and teens, teens and witches, check out the link below. It will be at either 4 or 3 days left until it finishes backing, so now's the time to get onto it. You might also recognize Mandy from the comic announcement we did 2 weeks ago, and let's talk about that for a second. So the short version is the comic isn't happening anymore. We kind of jumped the gun with the announcement a little bit, and in the 2 weeks since announcing the comic, we've been looking at kind of budget and time things, and it just isn't really viable. In order to get this thing to function, it's not like we would have had to make the Kickstarter be a goal far above what we could reach or severely underpay Mandy. The issue is we would have had to do both of those things and still probably would have lost some money. The other reason is I never want to do anything on the side that would compromise the main series. And unfortunately, the comic had already been kind of doing that. I rushed out last episode 2 weeks ago in order to get out the announcement, for example. That's the same reason that even though I promised a super long episode today, I'm not doing that. Because I think it's more important to have consistent and quality episodes than one that's significantly longer to make up for a shorter one. So I'm really sorry for anyone who got really excited about that and kind of feeling let down right now. If you found yourself really interested in the comic, there are still a few things you can do. The first one is really, I would highly encourage you to check out Don't Cry Witch. Mandy does great things, and even though she isn't making a comic with Quest Friends, she's still making her own amazing comics, which you should absolutely check out. The other thing is to watch this feed on September 23rd, because on September 23rd, we'll be releasing a table read version of the show in celebration of our 2-year anniversary. And then on Patreon, for any Patreon subscribers, $1 or above, we'll also be releasing the actual script for the comic, along with any concept art that was performed by Mandy, and then another artist or two as well. And this table read and script version are just a small portion of our big 2-year anniversary, which we're still doing, and has 2 other components to it. The first is that on Friday, September 20th, from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central Time, we'll be having a Q&A stream on our Twitch page. Just come hang out with us. We're going to do some questions. We'll talk with the chat. We might play a game. Who knows? It's up in the air. But it's going to be a great time. We really want to celebrate the fact that we've been doing this for 2 years, and we have, at this point of recording, over 50,000 downloads, which is a lot. It's really ridiculous. And yeah, sorry, just hit me for a second. Yeah, so feel free to reach out to us on any social media or on our contact page in order to submit questions for that Q&A. And then also I've put a link below, a little Google form if you would rather use that. In addition to the script, in addition to the table read, in addition to the stream, we will do one final thing for celebration, and that's going to be releasing a limited time sticker run for all new and upgrading Patreon subscribers from September through October. This really, really cute sticker, which was drawn by Mandy and features Shock and Misha just being real cute as usual, will be available again to all new and upgrading Patreon subscribers in the months of September and October. It'll also be available to folks at the $20 or the $50 level because I'm not going to make you spend more money. That would be ridiculous. So if you're interested in any of the things I mentioned, I have links to all of them below, and I'm also going to be creating an official post that compiles all this information on a single page. If I get it done tonight, it'll be in the link below. Otherwise, it will be available down there in a few days when I get it made up. And even though this is already going to be a very, very long announcement break, I've still got 2 NPC shoutouts that I have to do. NPC shoutouts go to $5 and above Patreon subscribers, and I've got 2 subscribers who have been waiting for a while on their things, so I want to make sure to get those shoutouts now.
Hi, the first Patreon shoutout goes to Daddy-O or Fib and Slinger, and it comes from me, Steve the Scrat. And Daddy-O says, how about a couple of dad jokes / riddles? Question, how do you make a cat bark? Answer, cover it with gasoline, toss a match on it, poof! Oh, is that a little too dark even for this group of listeners? Well, how about another one? Question, why couldn't the pony talk? Answer, it was a little hoarse. I'm here all week, folks.
All right, thank you, Steve the Scrat, and thank you, Daddy-O or Fib and Slinger. Our next shout out goes to Mary, and she says, the most unlikely character has to say, just be nice. Okay. Well, time to kill my voice. Hey, it's me, Virgil, and I gotta tell you today, just be... What? I gotta say it nicer? My name's Virgil, and my message for you is just be nice. All right, thank you, Mary, and thank you, Daddy-O, for supporting us on Patreon. That is actually all I have for you today. If you lost any of what I mentioned today, just look at the links below. It should contain all the information I covered. And I will be talking to all of you again on Monday, September 2nd. I'll see you then. Why are you here, Ellie? I know I shouldn't ask. I know I shouldn't, but that's why I'm not solving a puzzle. I am just asking. Why are you here?
Hi. You're really smart and pretty. I'm looking for well, one person I'm looking for is a woman who's not as great as you, but is also a professor. I didn't know you were gonna be here.
All right, Ellie. And she looks a little disappointed. She's like, all right, that's all I needed to hear. And she stands up. I wish you the best of luck at finding whoever this other woman is.
Ray, please, maybe you can help? I messed up. I messed up a lot with you and you know, with other people, and I really messed up in a more global sense.
Ray has her back is turned. She's walking away. She's like, whatever. You failed another relationship. And then she hears global sense. She rolls her eyes, turns around, and says, "What did you do?"
Can we sit?
She sits down and she kicks out a chair for you to sit in.
Or actually, maybe I should just stand. I should probably just stand. That was a mistake. I'm sorry. I answered an ad, and then I, along with the other people who answered it, unleashed a giant cloud of magical spiders, that I'm still not 100% clear on what they do, but it's bad, and the woman I was looking for, we thought that she was gonna be able to help, but I don't know if she is. And then there's like a side thing where we're trying to stop the Jagged Dream, but that's like a little lower key, but they're on the ship. Did you know that?
Ellie, I take pride in my knowledge of puzzles. I'm a professor now. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Were you there for that? No, you weren't there for that. No, I'm a professor now, and I take quite a pride in my puzzle solving. I don't know what on earth you just talked about.
Okay, the Apocrypha's like a little more abstract, but the woman was not like a woman, like for me, she was like like a scientist who just happened to be a woman. It came out wrong at the beginning. But the other thing, Ray, I know that I screwed up really bad. I want to explain.
She's going to look at you, and you can see her eyes, and she's going to pull out an exercise that you remember from back when you were dating.
Great.
She raises her hand and puts up 5 fingers, and she says, 5 words. Ellie, you have 5 words to explain what and why you would need my assistance, what global threat is out there, and if it cannot be summed up in 5 words, I will just go on my way. You're familiar with how that works, aren't you?
Ellie looks down and counts on her fingers to try to figure out what words to use. She tries to go quick, because Ray doesn't have patience, and Ray shouldn't have patience.
For listeners, there's so much dead air that I just cut.
Wow. Rude, Kyle.
I only need 4.
Well, you've already spent them.
Shit. Oh, I was so caught up in being super clever. Ray, there's gonna be a lot of death if we don't stop what's on the ship. Like, I know this is like a lot of words. Do you want to still hear the 4 before that? I'm rambling. I'm sorry. I'm really nervous.
She raises up a finger for the first word. I'm starting to count now.
Mass death 2 days.
Well, that's really unclear, honestly. Is the death 2 as in 2 the number in 2 days? Or is it 2 the concept of days itself? And she gets upset for getting intrigued in this mystery.
See, the purpose isn't to make a clearly solvable puzzle, Ray. The purpose is to interest you. You are so much smarter than me.
I don't. Nope. No. Not. I'm here for the death and nothing else.
Can I quote that out of context on our Twitter?
Do you know what will be used to cause this math's death, or where it is?
The Jagged Dream has a machine called Argent, and it can pull something from a different time. They've got it on the ship. We're not sure where, but we know that in 2 days, they're going to use it to pull something, and they're going to use it to incite a global war.
All right. Oh, not a whole lot of pieces
Yeah. Well,
There
they're going to. It's gonna power itself on people, which is also not great.
A few more pieces there for the puzzle. Sounds like that none of that matters, though. All we have to do is find this power source. 1 second, though, I actually need to grab one of my students who expressed an interest in that. And she reaches over and she comes back with Zoe. And Zoe says, "Hi, Mom! This is my teacher!"
Oh!
And Zoe and
Awkward levels have increased.
Do not end it here.
Ray just looks at you and looks at Zoe and looks back at you and kind of narrows her eyes and reluctantly gives you 1 heart point through association with your daughter. Reluctantly. You, Zoe, and Ray make your way down to the 3rd deck. And you start weaving through the spooky, scary hallways, which are still pretty dim. There's not a whole lot of light, but they're not like the horror they were when Hop was in there. And Zoe is just talking how much she likes the ship, and she's just asking so many questions about it and is so excited. Do you pipe in at all?
I would know if Zoe had brought any of her model airships, right?
Yes, they're on the Ladybug.
I'm gonna ask Zoe, or I'm just gonna mention to Ray, like, I don't know if Zoe told you, but she makes these amazing model airships.
Yeah, I mean, they're just models. They don't actually fly yet. And they keep going down. She's bounding. Zoe has in no way pieced together what's happening. She hasn't figured it out yet. And Ray is just perplexed, looking from you to Zoe to the 3rd candle to Zoe to you. Very confused. And eventually you start making your way to the hallway and you see a very bright light and these busted down walls. And you start hearing, again, which I'm just going to use the audio I used earlier, some faint cussing.
Ellie stops. Just stops dead.
And Ray turns over to you and says, "Best behavior."
I can't.
Oh no, Mom. People swear all the time. June swore a lot and she was perfectly nice.
Is this how you felt, Allie? What? Is it? Are you just reveling in this?
This is the happiest I've been in days.
In days.
Oh, days. Oh, this is nice. Watching somebody else squirm. I fucking love it.
Ellie's going to keep walking, but she's going to be very slow and kind of drag her feet and wring her hands and keep looking back and forth at Ray and Zoe.
Ray's gonna just walk forward and she's gonna just bluntly say, "Oh, come on, Ellie. You're not the one this'll be hard for."
Burn.
And so he turns over to you and says, Are you okay, Mom? Is everything okay? Are you seasick again?"
No,
I tried to look up some books about seasickness, but it seems like Hamish must have checked all of those out himself.
So we are gonna meet someone, and I want to have a conversation about it afterwards. All right, she's gonna keep going.
You hear this cussing. You see Ray is just sitting there looking around. She's actually started picking up some of the mess that's just been left around. Since, remember, this workstation is very messy, so she's just organizing it. And it looks like she's just waiting for the cursing to stop. And the cursing, it kind of sounds like a car, like meow, like fuck shit piss up. And then eventually it stops. And you see, leaning over the engine, mid like hammer strike, you see Sarah just look at you with her mouth agape. And I need you to roll speed defense.
Okay. A 3.
Suddenly, like an incoming like fucking bomber plane, you're as just what looks like a furry blanket slaps onto your face and starts scuttling around you, all over you, and eventually just plumps itself on the side of your head in a hug.
Ellie's frozen in horror, and she like doesn't try to grab it and rip it off because she's still staring at Sarah, but she like reeled at it hitting her, and now she's like, I want to get it off, but I can't move.
And then you hear Sarah.
But I hate it.
You hear Sarah say something that she didn't say with Hop. Chitters, down. And the like blanket kind of unfurls and looks a little confused. You see these big black eyes just kind of look, and she says, Chitters, no, down, Chitters. And Chitters just goes and looks sad, and then just slowly climbs down. And then he sees Ray and he gets excited and he scampers up on her side.
You know that thing you do after there's like sometimes after you get a bug off you and you like shudder and like squirm?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Ellie's gonna do, but she's still just staring at Sarah.
And Sarah will just, her mouth is agape again, and she just says, sorry about Chitters. He's my companion. I guess that was after you would know. And then since she's on the mobile, she just slides out of view. And Ray walks over to Zoe and just starts quietly speaking. She's like, oh, okay, so that, saying things like, oh, okay, so that's Sarah. She's the engineer. And you can see that she walks away with Zoe, and they round the corner back where Sarah was. You just hear Zoe. She started piping up. She's like, hi, my name's Zoe. It's really nice to meet you. He's really cute. He seems to like hugs. Can I have a hug? And Sarah starts talking a little bit again, too. And then after a few seconds, Ray comes back. And she just stands there and she looks at you for a second. And then she motions her head towards the desk. Okay, I found Sarah's map of the prodigious. It should help us find anything suspicious.
Fucking Steven Universe again? You're going to bring this shit here? They unfused?
I don't know. We'll play it by ear. Hops is last, regardless.
Hops is always last.
What?
Shut up, Ari.
Nothing. Ellie heard me. That's the important part.
It's as clear as the truth. I like the floof better.
The floof.
Faloof. It's as clear as faloof to you.
God help us.
So it was clear that they were having books, right? That they had physical books.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to clear that, yeah.
Make it clear that Megan has planted the coke on Zoe when the cops come.
That's a phrase.
Hit that negotiation music.
Let me search it out.
It's the Phoenix Wright one. That's not
a negotiation music. That's a
whatever.
So are we gonna debate, or am I just gonna tell you?
Kind of sounds like we have a lot of subplots and romantic subplots that are left hanging, and just like in a state of crisis. It's almost like romantic relationships are a focus of this arc.
Almost. Wonder why I would do that on my big ship arc.
It is very ironic that we are on a ship that sinks and is known for sinking, and there are other ships that are also sinking.
They all are.
Not all of them.
Well,
not all
of them. We're fine.
Yours aren't sinking, but they aren't starting either. Yours just haven't left the port. Shock's just standing there looking at the pier. He and Misha are in the boat being like, man, those are really nice ships. I'd love to be in a ship.
But here we are in this boat.
And that'll be the end of the episode. That's an ending.
There we go.
There's
That's an ending.
There's the money.
There it
I feel nauseous.
There's the money.
It's fine.